because that's going to actually, like I said, it's fuel for the soul. The soul thrives from that kindness, from that compassion, and the ego really lights up and feeds off of your energy from the insults and the criticism. So you just got to decide, do I want to feed the monster or do I want to feed the angels? You know?
Right. Exactly. It's very true. Yeah, especially around these few days around the full moon, it's just, I think that's why the old stuff was coming up. Just the energies were so intense for me. Like today, all I had energy to do was just like sit at home, because it was like, wow, I'm just really sensitive to the moon cycles in general, but especially full moons is like, whoa, I just need to go rest.
Yeah. And that's
I did honor that.
Listen to that. Yeah. Sorry, we had a little crossover. What did you say?
Oh, that's all I was going to say was just, I did honor that when I felt like I needed to just really rest, and just, in general, like a lot of changes, like the energies have shifted so fast the last few weeks. Like I thought I was going to go be live-in nanny in this really large, beautiful home, something that I'd really manifested in my mind's eye, and it actually was coming true. And then last minute, it was really sad actually. What happened is they said they weren't going to be able to take in a nanny because like they were planning on getting a divorce. And I sensed that there was some kind of instability in the home, but I had no idea it was like that major. But I'm like, okay, that's fine. At least I have a place to live still. It's just I have to just work with what I have. Yeah. So yeah, definitely.
So kind of definitely test your focus on trusting that Spirit's got a plan. And I promise you, Spirit does have a plan for you. And like I said, it may not be that the whole path is laid out. And sometimes we really think, like I was sharing with the yoga students today in the training, that I've been so taught as a soul myself to not be attached to things or outcomes or situations. And the more I trust and listen and not attach, the better I feel, the more peaceful I feel. But there's been times I've ignored that and I've been like, oh, I really want that, or oh, this is going to work, this is going to happen. Oh, crap, that didn't happen. Why didn't that work? And there's times that I feel it can trigger our ego even. Like the example I used was when I had gotten a job at a place, and my angels told me, you're going to come in and you're going to be a messenger for this. There was like a misaligned leadership, and I needed to come in and speak truth. And so when I went in there right away, I felt tense. It didn't feel comfortable. I was there to bring a message. And then my angel said, it's time to let go. You're not to stay here long. This isn't a good environment for you. And I was just like, wow, really? And so for a little bit, the ego part of me was like, damn, I just told all these people on Facebook I got this new job, and they're all cheering me on. And then I realized, wait a minute, when I went home and I was in meditation, I just connected. And this is why I say stillness is so important, because if we don't go into stillness and tune into the reasons and the solutions and the wisdom, we can get caught in ego and really suffer for a long time. And so when I went into that meditation place, they showed me clearly what my mission was. They were so proud of me. They were like, you did exactly what you were sent to do. Don't be attached. Don't worry. We will take care of you. And everything worked out. And I ended up getting this internet show right around the same time as that. And then ended up getting so many healing clients coming in locally from just, times that I had been at the gym, and people were finally starting to come around from those connections. But I couldn't see all that yet. I just knew to go where they say to go, speak and be truthful, which I did. And then it looked like to the outer world, it could look like failure. Like, oh, she failed. She went and did that job and it only lasted a month. What a loser, And so
it's pretty insane.
What's that?
I said it's pretty insane how the world is that way. Because, I've changed my mind so many times about whether or not I want this job or that job, or whether or not I want to go back to school or not. Or, I've changed my mind quite a few times. But, you know, a lot of it just had to do with maybe indecision, but it was kind of like I really wanted to stay true to myself. Like, things didn't feel right to me, you know, then I wasn't going to do it. Like, yeah, I have certain ideas, but, you know, but I would see that with people, like, they would kind of get frustrated, like, oh, Eileen, you should just go to school, back to school, you know, like, you got into debt, and, oh, you just need to get all these certifications and everything so you can, you know, it's just like this whole egoic thing, and it's like, I get so angry because it's like, so many of us already have really powerful gifts to offer the world now. And just the fact that we don't have these certifications or this job or that job should not prevent us from having the abundance and work and love that we deserve, you know, but it's like the people out there will just say like, oh, you know, you're like a total failure. Like my family looks at me like that way. That's why I don't, you know, speak to them anymore. They just look at me as like, oh, poor orphan Annie, you know, like no family, no, like no money, no job, lives with her mom. Like that's seriously how they view me. And that's why I don't associate with any beings that view me in that egoic lens. They don't really see me for like who I really am. So,
and what's so important is like, you'll see that happening, but what's so important is not so much what others see us like, but if we're seeing that way. Like when I was temporarily seeing myself as, oh man, they're going to think I'm a failure. Wait a minute. As I go into meditation, wait, why do we care about that? We don't care about that. And so we connect with the soul again, and the soul's like, hey, we don't really care about what they think. We don't really care about if they think we're awesome or cool, because big picture, we're here to do a mission. We're here to go and show up where our guides send us and speak truth on it. And so the more we can stay in that alignment and really listen every day for guidance and go in without attachment, I promise from my experience that my guides always say, don't worry, Tanya, we'll take care of you. We will always support you. And I know that's true because they show me all the time. And I'll go into somewhere, I'll do the mission, I'll fulfill what I'm meant to do, speak truth, and then release. And I've gotten comfortable to where now I no longer participate in my mind at all with thinking I failed. But that was what was important for me to clear. And that's what each of us has to do our own work to clear, is that it doesn't really matter what the others think of us. It matters what we think of us. And if we're having that internal battle, it's actually wasting our energy that we could otherwise be using to take the next step on our journey and fulfill the next mission. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And so being gentle with yourself and practicing meditation and just really celebrating how far you've come, and then listening and tuning in saying, okay, guides, okay, angels, where are we going now? What is it that you need me to do next? How may I serve? And then be humble and present and just listen, be very receptive, because they want ultimately your success, just like you want these certain dreams, they do too. And I promise you, the ones behind the scenes are working very diligently to help you to get to your goal and your destination. But it's going to maybe come in, sometimes it'll come in ways that blow your mind. It'll come in ways that surprise and delight you. And even ask for that. Ask for it to surprise and delight you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, completely.
Because do you kind of see the energetic pattern of if you would have ended up getting that job and it was really tense and they're just screaming and fighting and divorce energy, how that maybe isn't the best thing for your sensitive soul? And so your guides
are maybe I see that now. Yeah, because I was actually really overwhelmed. I was actually pretty overwhelmed kind of around her energy, around the wife. Like, even though I really liked her a lot, she was just so high stress and tense, and like, even though it was a really great setup, like it was everything I had asked for, you know, in my mind.
The appearances.
Like, and it was right. But it was like, no, I guess it was maybe just showing me what's possible, or maybe it was even showing me, like, this is how powerful you are. Like, if you really direct your mind, you can create what you really want. Like, that was actual physical proof that manifested. And so I'm like, okay, that's fine. And, Yeah, so just a lot of fluctuations around where am I going to live. Decided I'm going to stay where I am now until, whenever I need to go again.
Yeah.
And then the other day I was like, I'm still deciding, like, there's a few classes I was considering at school for caregiving, because I've been interested in caregiving for a really long time. That's something that I feel I'd be really good at, that I have some experience with. And I thought, well, if I go back to school, I'll get a lot of grant money and I can take these classes that are beneficial. But then, like, when I went to sleep that night, I just started having a panic attack after thinking about it all. And I started, like, crying and, like, even feeling suicidal just at the thought of going back to college, like, even just to do something simple like take a few classes. And it's like, why would I have such a violent reaction to something most people would see as really simple? I just thought to myself,
what does your intuition feel? Like, what do you feel intuitively about that reaction?
Intuitively, like, my mind's been foggy just because the full moon is, But as far as my intuition, when I had that reaction, I was just kind of like, I feel like a weight was being placed back on me. Like, I could already feel the stress of, like, daily classes and homework. I could already feel the monotony of the same routine. I could already feel the, like, just the dread. And, like, it just didn't feel good. And I was like, so damn it, well, I'm tired of being poor. Like, I want to make some kind of money. Like, and so, tomorrow I have a second interview with a caregiving agency, and I'm like, all right, well, I've been getting signs for that agency. Like, I've repeatedly been seeing the same symbol for that agency. Like, obviously my angels are telling me, like, you need to just go do it now. And that's how I've been feeling.
That's exactly what I'm getting, is why do you need to go to school?
Certifications. Like, fuck the certifications. Fuck, like, okay, it'd be great to have some grant money, but you know what? Like, it's not worth all that stress. Like, I should just go and do what I want to do now, especially now that the opportunity is presenting itself. Like, that just makes more sense.
Yeah, and if there's a door actually opening and illuminating with that potential, and it feels good, and this is the reason I was wondering what you were feeling, because what everyone that's listening can really tune in to what you're going through, that they can also relate to, is our bodies are amazing at giving us signals that will help us know and discern if something is for our highest good. And so if we're thinking of some decision and it makes us want to kill ourselves, that's probably not the best decision. And if we get an opportunity like this caregiving thing opens up and they're like, wow, can you start Monday? And you just get this blissful, euphoric, holy shit, I'm just so excited. That is an aligned path. You feel the illumination of that path. Now, it may not be there forever. You may feel that today, and in 6 months, it's telling you to let go. And so this is where we have to so live in the now and discern the energy as it shifts and as we shift, because what we are ready for today will change in time. So, but I would say listen to that feeling in your body that path is not the best for you. And it also, I sense there may be some stuff vibrationally you need to clear connected to that situation, just so that you don't end up carrying around this fear of college forever, or this feeling that it's all bad, but maybe clearing some kind of like residue that's left over from that experience that felt very traumatic and overwhelming to you, so that you aren't afraid of it. You can embrace classes here and there if you choose to without fear, but you don't feel like this anxiety from anything connected with college. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. Like, it does make sense. Like, I was feeling that way also, like, doing something long term in that direction doesn't feel right to me. But, if I do want to take classes here and there, that would help me, enhance the direction I'm going for.
Like, let it be joy and curiosity that guide you. Like,
exactly. Wow, that sounds like, that's fun. How it should feel. I can put that's how I feel completely. It's just, I had that moment of old stuff come up again. I'm like, where'd that come from? I thought I was done with that.
Which